Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my review for episode 4 of She-Hulk.
In every generation, there is chosen one girl in all the world. She alone will review the movies, TV shows, and books of geek culture. I am the chosen girl.
So the episode opens with some cool music that kind of reminded me of the music from like the first Iron Man movie. It's like rock and it's got like a lot of drums and stuff, and it kind of like had a cool real energy to it that I think the show kind of really needs. But then we get this tacky magician named Donnie Blaze. Not Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, but Donnie Blaze. And he just like looks super cheap and tacky. He's got like no shirt on, and he kind of looks like a pirate a little bit. And he's doing like these cheap little tricks. I do like his like manager off to the side though. That's like his hype man and is like encouraging him and stuff. That guy was kind of funny. But he's just like doing these cheap tricks trying to impress people. And then so Donnie uses the sling ring and he like opens the portal and he gets a volunteer on stage named Madisynn with a Y, but not where you think. And he sends her to some like dimension, and then she like later on she talks about like making a deal with the goat named Jake or something. So, and then she somehow ends up in front of Wong, and of course Wong's like super upset that this Donnie guy's like using the mystic arts for like his cheap magic show. So yeah, we get more Wong in this episode, which is always great. We always love seeing Benedict Wong in the role of Wong. I love every time he shows up, and I just love that Wong is like binge watching TV, and Madisynn like spoils The Sopranos for him, and he gets like really upset about it. So Wong like he's had enough with the Donnie Blaze guy, so he goes to meet Jen at the office. And, you know, we learned that Donnie Blaze actually did train at Karmatage, but he was, like, kicked out because he's a douchebag. And that Wong wants to, like, file a lawsuit against him so that he can't practice the mystic arts anymore. And I do like Wong's kind of, like, anger and passion and, like, kind of taking a little offense to this, that, like, Donnie's just using the mystic arts as, like, cheap magic tricks for his show. But Wong does kind of have a good point. It's like you can't really have people using the mystic arts, opening portals to dimensions and stuff. Especially, you know, mystic arts is very powerful, and, you know, power in the wrong hands or incompetent hands, as the case of Johnny Blaze, you know, it could be very dangerous, you know. And so I think it's a good point there. Although Wong wasn't really, you know, trying hard enough to stop Strange from the memory spell in No Way Home, but, you know, we'll see. So Wong takes Donnie to court, and they call Madisynn in as a witness, which I love Madisynn, but she's clearly been drinking. I don't know, like, is the confession a statement of a drunk person in court, is that admissible? That doesn't seem, like, very legal. So I don't know why they didn't just have her, like, prepped and ready to go already, but I do love seeing her pop up. And I love that she calls them Wongers, like they're BFFs or something, so she's really fun. And then also, I don't think they really represented the case very well. Like, they seem to be making it out that they're, like, want Donnie Blaze to stop his illusion magic show and his career, when the real issue is that he's just using the sling ring inappropriately, opening portals to other dimensions, and that should not be allowed. So I don't think they really kind of made their case very well. And just because Madisynn isn't, like, traumatized by being in a different dimension, I mean, you know, I don't think that means that Donnie should just be allowed to open the portals, like, and send people into other dimensions. Like, I think as soon as the judge heard that, like, she should have, like totally, like, case closed on that. Like, that should not definitely be allowed at all. I mean, like, he's endangering people's lives, sending them to, like, you know, hell dimensions and stuff. Although I do like the girl on stage later that, like, refuses to go through the portal because last week he sent her friend to a parking lot in Pomona or something. So at least people are catching on. And I guess they're not all hell dimensions he's sending them to, but he still shouldn't be sending people without their consent into places they shouldn't be, you know. So Wong is right, case closed. But of course, Donnie, being incompetent fool that he is, he opens a portal to a hell dimension and unleashes these, like, gremlin bat creature thingies that come out. And then he doesn't know how to fix it, so of course he goes and gets Wong to help him. But why doesn't Wong just, like, revoke Donnie's sling ring? I mean, I guess in the end he does say he'll stop using it, but I mean, just take away the sling ring. Like, you gave it to him, you should be able to take it away, right? But so anyway, it's kind of an interesting fight scene. Wong kind of gets to show off a little bit. She-Hulk comes in, and I like that he tells her, be a Hulk, and so she's like starts smashing these creatures, and then they grow bigger and stuff. So it's kind of a cool little scene. They do kind of remind me of like the little creatures from the end of Shang-Chi, the little bat creature demon thingies. So I think, it was an interesting way to kind of wrap up that case. And then we get one scene with Jen's dad stopping by, being all overprotective of her because of her encounter with the Wrecking Crew at the end of the last episode. So they're kind of keeping that in mind for us. And we still don't know who hired them. We may have gotten, some hints in this episode, but we'll see how that plays out in the future. But it's just kind of nice seeing a dad being a dad. And of course she's like, but I'm a Hulk. I can take care of myself. That was kind of fun. So then the B plot of the story is Jen tries dating, and she first tries dating as herself, but of course she has a terrible date with some douchebag guy that's not paying attention to her. He's an absolute idiot, and she makes a comment about how dating in your 30s is the worst. I mean, I remember dating in my 20s was pretty terrible. Thank God I don't have to date in my 30s anymore. But, I mean, I can kind of relate with Jen. I think a lot of women can, and it's, we kind of feel bad for her a little bit. It's like, she wants to be seen for who she is and not for just being She-Hulk. But she eventually caves, and she does go on dates as She-Hulk. And at first she thinks she's met this nice guy, the doctor, and he might be a good date for her. But then the guy leaves in the morning as soon as he sees her as Jen. That guy's crazy. Jen is absolutely adorable. She makes breakfast. That guy's an idiot. But at least she got laid, so good for Jen. But, yeah, it's kind of like, showing kind of the worst in men, I guess. He was really sweet on the date when she was She-Hulk, but then he sees her as Jen, and so he bounces. Dating isn't always like that, so don't get scared, people. But, sometimes things happen. But, I think that, even she's like, well, hot doctor's a cliche. Maybe I should move on. So we're not sure if she's going to continue dating as She-Hulk because it's not super better either way. But I do like when Wong interrupts her on the date and he says like, oh, I feel like your dad or something. That was pretty funny. Wong is always great. So this episode ends with Jen being served papers by Titania, who is suing her for the trademark name She-Hulk. Jen didn't even want that name to begin with, so I'm not really sure why this is a problem for her. She has the trademark for She-Hulk. That's fine. She can have it. You don't want to be called She-Hulk anyway. Case closed, I think, but we'll see how that all plays out. But it does pick up on the Titania story, and they say that she's been cleared of all charges regarding the break-in incident at the courtroom at the end of the first episode. So I think we're going to be picking up on the Titania storyline in the next episode. So we'll see where that goes. She is supposed to be kind of like the villain of the show, so who knows. And then the end credit scene is brilliant. I love Wong and Madisynn just talking about their favorite drinks and eating popcorn and binge watching TV shows. This Is Us. And, I love it. I want more of it. I want more of them together. I think it's hilarious. And I love that, Wong is, kind of annoyed by her, but, he's also still going to go get froyo with her. So that's great. And we learned that Wong's favorite drink is the gin and tonic. And then Madisynn, mentioned she wants to try yak milk. And I think Wong even says, there's leftovers from a wedding. So, is that an Easter egg? Does somebody we know get married? We'll see. That's probably just a little Easter egg they threw in there, but that seems kind of fun. One of the things I like about the show is the balance between Jen and She-Hulk. She's not always in She-Hulk form, even though the show is called She-Hulk. We don't get too much She-Hulk. Like Jen says, she has to be She-Hulk at work, so she doesn't want to be She-Hulk in her regular life. So I like that we get a lot of scenes of Jen just as herself, because I think Tatiana Maslany is really great in the role. She's a great performer, so it's great that we get to see her as herself and not just always in She-Hulk form. And I like her being conflicted about embracing the She-Hulk and, going on dates as She-Hulk and not sure about that. And then she realized, it doesn't really matter, because, guys either want me or they don't want me as Jen or She-Hulk. So I think I love the journey that we have so far with Jen and sort of accepting herself as She-Hulk. So I really enjoyed this episode. I always love seeing Wong show up. Him and Madisynn were definitely a highlight for sure. I didn't like the douchey Donnie Blaze character, but his manager was hilarious. Always repeating what he says. That was funny. So I'm not sure if I like the fourth wall breaks that they're doing. I don't know if they're adding much to the show. They just feel more like the audience's comments, and they don't really add much insight into the show. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. They're kind of funny, but they're also kind of cringe a little bit. So we'll see if that gets better going forward. So those are my thoughts on the episode. Let me know what you guys think about the show in the comments below. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Marvel reviews. Every week, She-Hulk reviews, doing a rewatch of the MCU from the beginning. So stay tuned to the channel for that. And if you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee with the link in the description down below. So thanks everybody, and until next time, can we get some froyo and talk about The Sopranos? Bye.